Welcome to another episode of UCRD Reviews. So today we have a Tamashii Nation Online 2021 exclusive. This one is the FA-78-1 Full Armor Gundam version anime real marking. So this one I was very excited about. If you've watched my other reviews, I really like the real marking stuff, and having the Full Armor Gundam among them is something that I was really excited about when it was announced. So looking at the package here, you have this cool sleeve that's on it. There's not really anything on the sides other than writing, and then on the back it just has Tamashii Nation Online. Let me take this sleeve off real quick. And there we have new box art for the Full Armor Gundam, which includes a very deceased Zeong down there at the bottom. So this is the same Full Armor Gundam we've seen before, but it has additional markings and a better paint job this time around. So we have the side profile there, so you can kind of see some of what we're getting. You have a little GM flying in on this other side of the box, and then on the back here you have all the same accessories, unlike the other real marking versions. You have some neat illustrations here, so I'm very excited about this one. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. So here we have the Full Armor Gundam without its armor. This is the real marking variety, and you can see it's got a lot of these little markings here. You have 38 written on it. A lot of more detailed paint here. Nothing too spectacular on the regular Gundam version of it. We're not going to go through articulation or anything, just because you can check out the original Full Armor Gundam review for all that. This is the exact same sculpt. There are no changes, no differences, and aside from the paint, of course. And it looks really, really good. I like what they've done. It's not overdone. It's subtle. It's not a complete paint change like Char Zaku, which I actually like that one, but had they done it here, I might not have liked it so much. But it looks really good. We do have a little bit of a QC error with the arm there. It's a bit separated. I'll see if I can do something about that. But let's go ahead and take a look at what it comes with. So like I said a second ago, this release actually comes with all the same accessories as the original, unlike the other real marking versions that were released last year. We'll go through everything pretty quickly. I'll mainly just show what it looks like. In terms of functionality and features, you can check out the original Full Armor Gundam review, as everything I show here is the same as what you get in that set. So starting off, you get the hand rack, gun hands, beam saber hands, 2 different sets of opposing hands. You get lots of armor components here. So you get the shoulder armor. So this is one side, and the other side's going to have the Federation symbol on it, which is a nice little touch there. You have the arm armor, which only difference here is the little markings. And I think that's it. It's just those little markings there. You have the leg thrusters, which again have markings, and we'll do a comparison with the original Full Armor Gundam. But you have half of the leg components there, the other half here that actually has the 38 markings on them. You have the front of the leg armor, has those little blue details in there, and you have details over here. It's pretty nice. You have the knee armor, which has a lot more detail on it, and then of course the missile bays still fold down just like normal. You have the foot armor, which looks relatively unchanged. That's the front, and this is the back. You have this is the rear skirt armor, which has a little triangle on it. That's the only difference there. And you have the front piece of the skirt armor, which has a 7/8 on it. and you have that little orange line there. You have the chest armor, which has the flip-up missile bays, a little bit of detail on them as well. You have the backpack itself, so you have 38, you have the lines around the barrel there, you have some markings there which are really nice. They did really, I really like the markings on these. I'm really glad we got that. So you have FA-78-1 on the shield, and then the twin beam rifle has the Federation symbol in yellow and 38 on it. So really nice. We'll go ahead and remove that tray. You then have two beam saber handles, which are relatively unchanged. You have the extended one. You have the two beam saber blades, if I can get them out of there. So same difference. The beam rifle, which looks about the same. The hyper bazooka, same thing. It doesn't look like they changed any of the paint on this one. You have the bazooka holder, the shield handle. You have the beam rifle storage piece for the shield. You have the arm connector for the shield, and then you have, if I can get it out of there, there we go, the shield itself, which has some really cool markings on it as well. I like the little arrows. So pretty nice. You do get two thruster effects. You get the slashing beam saber effect, a standard beam rifle effect, and the twin beam rifle firing effect. You get the really cool Vulcan firing effect that they don't do enough. I really like that one. The cannon firing effect there. And then these are the leg missile firing effects and the torso missile firing effects. And then you get them deployed but not having been fired. And those are the torso ones, and then these are the leg ones. You get two of each. So that is all of the accessories. Now let's take a look at the comparison with the original figure. So in its base form, I thought they were going to be more similar, but as you can see, the paint has a few differences here. Let's go ahead and take a look at them. So the head is relatively unchanged. The torso looks like it just has darker orange on the vents there. Same with the head, I guess. And down here you have a lot more detail and darker orange. Then you move around to the arms and you can see you have green forearms. And then the gray in the joints and the hands and things are more of a darker gray, almost black color. So going down to the legs, it's the same thing. You have green down here instead of gray, which I actually kind of like. So moving around to the backside, shoulders are green, and everything else is just detail. It's just the markings that it comes with. You have a really bad blemish right there, unfortunately, which is kind of present on my original figure, but it's much easier to see there. And you have it on the other arm as well. So that is unfortunate. You have it down there on the ankle armor. The more I look, the more I find, which is not good for an exclusive figure. But it does look great aside from that. Even in its base form, I actually like this color scheme a bit better. So let's take a look at both of these armored up. So this is where the original looks a lot more plain and dated. The newer real marking version just shines in about every possible way. You know, the orange especially makes the color pop. You have the orange on the hatches here, the detail on the shoulders, all the detail on the front here, the knees are far more detailed. Even the subtle stuff like the little gray bits on the legs, the rings around the barrel of the cannon, you know, the 38 right there on the backpack, and then you move around to the back and it's really the same story. You know, it just all looks way better. You do unfortunately have the nub marks on the arms, but a lot of the other stuff is at least covered up, which shouldn't be there in the first place, but you know, better to have it covered up at least. So this one, I mean, just looks really nice with all the armor on. Definitely the one I'm going to keep long term. But there's just a lot of detail. One thing I did find that I didn't quite like was the armor didn't seem to snap into place as easily on this one. It felt like it wasn't molded quite right in some areas, and it was a bit of work to get it to snap in, which is unfortunate because this one just clicks in no problem. So this new version of the Full Armor Gundam is a big hit with me. I like these real marking figures. They change enough of the paint to make it look interesting. They add a lot of detail to it, which, you know, I think the original figures should have had. And there are some Robot Spirits releases that have this amount of detail. The GUF Flight type is one that comes to mind among many others. But then some of them are really plain, like the Full Armor Gundam original release. So this one kind of fixes that and makes it look really, really nice, and is definitely worth tracking down. It is an exclusive, and I think it cost me about $82.90 to pick this one up, so we'll have to see if it goes up or down on the secondary market in terms of price, but it is worth tracking down, especially now when it's on the cheaper side. And you know, it comes with all the original accessories. Everything is pretty much the same. The only downside to it is the quality control. Recently it's been getting worse, and the figures are getting more expensive, and the quality control's going down the toilet, which is unfortunate. But luckily in its full armor form you can't notice a lot of the issues, so I do prefer this version over the original. Let me know how yours looks if you ended up picking this one up, and hopefully we get more of these real marking figures and we don't have to wait till Tamashii Nation 2022 to get them. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.